Hello. I've already made one longer video and posted one longer video today, but I wanted to make a short video because I've made several videos recently talking about the end times and everything, and I just want to make a video warning not to put your trust in a specific date. There is a lot of buzz on the internet now about the rapture possibly happening July 26th or the 9th of Av, which is the Feast of New Wine in the Jewish world. And there are reasons given for it. And, there are things happening in the world, the Agenda 2030 and other things. And some of the people I've watched, they're very clear that they're not saying that is going to be the date, but they're very watchful. One thing to be careful of when it comes to these dates. So Matthew chapter 24, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but Matthew 24 verse 36 essentially tells us, but concerning that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father only. And then it goes into talking about the days of Noah. Two will be grinding at the mill. One will be taken, one will be left. And then Jesus gives an illustration, who's going to be the faithful and wise servant whom his master has set over his household, basically leaves for an indeterminate amount of time. And when the master returns, he'll find his servant still doing all the things that they should be doing. The problem with getting fixated on a particular date is that what happens if July 26th, which is in, what is today? Today is the 11th. So if the 26th, that's less than 20 days from that, or 10, I'm not going to try to do the math. But anyway, it's a couple weeks from now. So, what are you going to do if you're still here on that date? I actually saw someone in my comments section actually said a date that I hadn't heard before, which was July 18th, which is 7 days away. What if this is our last week on Earth? And I did a video, what if today was your last day on Earth? And that applies whether you die of natural causes, if the rapture happens. Everything I said in that video, I stand behind. But you need to be careful that you're not trusting in a particular date, which brings up one other thing. Why are you saved? What was your motivation for accepting Christ as your Lord and Savior? It should be that you recognize that you're a sinner in need of a Savior, and that's why you've accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior. I kind of look at it like this. They don't do it much anymore, but there was a time where if a young man got in trouble, when he went to court, a judge sometimes would give them a choice. You can either go to jail or you can join the military. So if you look at salvation like joining the military, but it's not joining for 2-4 years, it's for life. What's your motivation? If you're just trying to escape jail, you may join the military, but your heart's not going to be into it. Your heart has to be in salvation. You can't just get saved to avoid because you kind of sort of believe the bad consequences, so you accept Christ as your Lord and Savior. It doesn't work that way. So, keeping this as short as possible, don't rely on a specific date. Are we close? I believe that we are close. Could it be one of these days? Yes. Kind of think that God would deliberately not come on one of the days that we predict, but I did find it interesting when I looked up end time predictions. This January or July 26th thing isn't on the Wikipedia page, which it's kind of public. I know Wikipedia is not the best resource in the world, But they had all these other dates listed where people have predicted that the rapture was going to happen or some apocalypse or whatever, and that date wasn't there. So I'm not saying that's proof that there's something to it, but like Jesus ended Matthew 24 with, he ends it with talking about being a faithful servant. If the Lord tarries a month, 2 months, a year, whatever the case may be, but I have said this to a couple people in my comments section. This one thing I know for 100% certainty: the Lord's return is closer this afternoon than it was this morning. It's closer today than it was yesterday. I don't know when it's going to be, but I know it's going to be soon. So if you don't know the Lord as your Savior, today is the day to get saved. And I'll link a video here on what salvation is. Have a great day.